to make a Trento DOC. Trento DOC, one of the important thing is that it could be only with the grapes of the area Trento, and with Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Pinot Blanc. No, first of all, we use Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. In Révis, we use only Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. To be a Trento DOC has to stay on the east, no, for minimum 15 months. To be a vintage Trento DOC has to stay for 2 years, 24 months, and we have to use all the grapes of just one harvest.
As I mentioned earlier, something we really aim for with our audience is helping someone who's curious and eager to try something, helping them understand what they're trying so they can have more appreciation for the taste and the flavor. So I'm sure this is a question you're asked all the time, but I would love it if you could walk us through the process of Trentodoc's classic method. I believe it's all 4 steps. If you don't mind, we don't go into a ton of detail, but just explaining the actual traditional steps and how it creates the flavor you're so known for.
But but the first part for sure it's common, like the still wine, no, so you grow up the beans, you have for example, it's very important to have the first high quality raw materials at the start. Then you have harvest after 1 year, one agricultural year. You have the harvest, then you press, you have the first fermentation, that is the vinification. And the very important different things about the sparkling wine and the classic method, for example, in 100% Chardonnay, Chard, that is when you want to have a Chardonnay for a base of sparkling wine, you have to have more acidity. So your harvest is a couple of weeks before. No, it depends as the velocity of the maturation, but we can say between 1 and 2 weeks before, because you have to preserve the freshness, the acidity. No, then you have after this harvest, you have a different vinification. No, it's for example Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. No, into different way. It depends if you want to make a rosé or a white wine. In that case, you have a maceration on the skin of the grapes of Pinot Noir. If you want a Blanc de Noir, so a white wine from a Pinot Noir, you have to separate the skin of the grapes with the juice. After the first fermentation, we make the cuvée. The cuvée, we taste, we sit around with my family and taste which kind of Chardonnay could go inside with some percentage of Pinot Noir. For example, we talked about the Révis Brut, and 80% of Chardonnay and 20% of Pinot Noir. So Chardonnay 1, 2, and 7 with 20% of Pinot Noir or a couple of Pinot Noir. It depends on the vintage of the year. No, after that we patch inside the liqueur de tirage, so yeast and sugar, like make bread, but you patch all inside a bottle and you cork. So the yeast start eating the sugar and give us the bubbles. So is the presa di spuma, no? That activity that the yeast work. After that, to make a Trento DOC, one of the important thing is that it could be only with the grapes of the area Trento, and with Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Pinot Blanc. No, first of all, we use Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. In Revie, we use only Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. To be a Trento DOC has to stay on the east, no, for minimum 15 months. To be a vintage Trento DOC has to stay for 2 years, 24 months, and we have to use all the grapes of just one harvest. For example, the 2018. To be a Riserva, Trento DOC Riserva, has to be over other value of alcohol, of acidity, some values, no, of the from the analysis, has to stay minimum 3 years on lease, so 36 months on lease, and has to be millesimato, so with just one harvest. After that, we arrive that we have the bubbles for sure inside the bottle, but we have also the yeast. So we have to make the remouage. One time we made all by hand. Today is automatic, no, the remouage. The remouage is useful to clean up the wine from the yeast, to have at the end of this activity a brilliant, no, wine, a brilliant sparkling wine. Then we have the dégorgement. The dégorgement is made à la glace, so we freeze, no, that part of the yeast, and with the pressure, circa between 6 and 7 bar, we disgorge. So we open the bottle, the pressure, pull out that cork freezed with the yeast, and we have a very brilliant sparkling wine. If we don't add nothing, because you know sparkling wine is a special wine, because we can add sugar, and with the sugar we can define the type of the Trento DOC, of the sparkling wines. We had, for example, the Natura, the Dosaggio Zero. After we have the Extra Brut, and go on with the more sugar wine. And we can add something to create that is a very secret recipe of each winery. No, at the end, a couple of months minimum to re-equilibrate, no, the wine, the sparkling wine, with this liquor d'expédition, and we have the magic done, because from some grapes to a glass of full of emotion, full of nice moments, and for sure full of bubbles.
Outstanding. Thank you. I recognize that I gave you a speech there, so thank you so much for doing that. But
thank you.
The magic and the science involved, and it's just it's very admirable. And I think a lot of people, they're only relying on the celebration aspect and the magic, and they don't realize the hard work that goes into it. And
yes,
go ahead.
I want to ask you, I want to say a thing, sorry for interrupt you. Our payoff is when magic and technique meet them, because that is sparkling wine, I think, no? Something magic, but really important thing is also the technique, no? To that magic could, no, make it. And so when you say magic, I arrive in my mind that our payoff, no, that is really important. No, magic and technique meet together.
Now that you've given us so much, what can we give you? Tell us about a request to, if they're listening on the podcast, if they're watching the video, if they're reading about you from the articles, how can we give back to you?
If you really like this, and you thank you for follow me and follow our activity, I want to ask you to be our ambassador. You have to go and ask about Revie, and when you find Revie, you have to try Revie. when you don't find Revi, you have to ask to you want try. No, I believe one of the best things is really to be curious. So come to winery for sure, but I know that we are not very near from you. But if you come, I really enjoy. But you can search us, for example, on Instagram, on our website. We have, for example, Instagram. I love a lot because I love the image. So Revi _ Trentodoc, and then when you go in your best and favorite and your fav restaurant or wine bar, you have to ask Revi, and for sure I will deliver a couple of cases for you.